who's here. We got Jim Iffy Kids here, Bill Saflarski, Ted, Miller Stumps and Firewood. Nice deer, Ted. Saw that picture earlier today. He says 42 and raining there. I've got 30 and wet snow and rain mix here. We got a couple more inches tonight. Mike, Lake Ontario Firewood. Got Ed, American Country 716. David Parker's here. Good evening to you. Hunting season's full swing. Sounds like war. It's about the time it is here too. Daniel Atkins is here early tonight. Good evening, Mr. Daniel. Good to see you. So the SOL department is here. Perfect. James Wagner's here. Bud Cantor's here. BZ Firewood and Rust is here. Roman's here. Man, everybody's coming in. Got Lonnie Jones, Josh and Janice, Scott McCoyne. Everybody's coming in. Dan's House of Smoking Outdoors. Good evening to you. I had the least productive week I have ever had with Firewood this week, but we still got a lot done in between. So not too bad, all in all, I guess. Got James Munsters here, Robert Daigle, Not Enough Firewood's here. Young Buck put a tag on an 8-point buck today. Well, there you go. Good job, Young Buck from American Country. Mrs. American Country's here. Well, good evening to you, too. Got Jason from Yadkin Valley Outdoors here. Dennis Rexford. Dennis, I don't have your email address anymore. If you can send me an email again at woodguywilly@gmail.com, I would love to have that two-man saw. I actually want to see if I can refinish it and make it a usable saw again. So let's see if you can get me an email. I will pay for shipping to get it here. Again, my email is woodguywilly, WILLEY, @gmail.com. So please send me an email and we'll get that taken care of. Ooh, Daniel Atkins got another channel hooked on pro saws this weekend. There you go. Hody's Holstein and Hardwoods. That's Mr. Brandon Hode. Nice new name. There you go, sir. Are you starting a YouTube channel? Sounds like it may be. Speedy, how you doing? Good to see you. Iffy Kid. Oh, there's my email address a couple of times there. 6'2" man. I'd take a 6'2" man. No, I have not got my second video done yet, Robert. I did get a chain on it, and I did do that, but man, oh man, it's been a it's been a time, that's for sure. We got Sherry Miller. Posts only, says Brandon Hode. Posts only. So there you go. Jacqueline Dowers here. K-Train's in the house. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that. I will get back to you as soon as this live is done. Daniel Atkins says one of his 461s is in Kentucky and has arrived safely. Well, there you go. Logger Jason is here. Robert Moore is here. And we're getting stuff done. So my week consisted of a delivery to the restaurant. That's it. And yeah. That's all I got done. We had home inspections. The home sale has gone through. The home inspection found one GFI not working. That was all they could find. And from there on out, we just wait for the checks to get written and for everybody to hand keys over. We have to be out on or before December 19th is the plan right now. Mr. Mitchell, how we doing? Got Wise Choice Firewood, Scott and Ann are here. So I attempted to do some more firewood. I blew a belt on the conveyor before I left to go to Virginia. Could not find said belt. When I came back at any of the hardware stores, had to order one. I got one ordered. It showed up yesterday, but yesterday we had to go to Aroostook County, which is 3 hours that way, for Richard's hockey. And Richard won 8-5, and then they won again today, 5-4. So they had a good weekend of hockey, and we got that done. So that was good. Ooh, Mike from Lake Ontario says I should have a package tomorrow. I like packages. Sweet, thank you, sir. Shotlift Family Firewood, how you doing, Brian? Good to see you. John Solomon, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, so I've got a lot of firewood to do this week. A lot. Somewhere in the neighborhood of like 15 to 18 cords. I still have a video to put together, but I just don't. I don't know where the time comes from right now. Put chains on the 2 new saws this evening so that they're ready to go. So we'll get all that done. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that very much, my friend. Alessandro, how you doing, buddy? Yeah. Lately, right now, it's been rain up here too, so we're wet and soggy. I had to dig up the septic system, put a riser on the tank. The ground got wet, so now I have a big bowl of Jello around the septic tank. The patio will not be going back in this year, that's for sure. It's made a mess. Gramp is 2 loads of firewood ahead of me. I have some new firewood from a new supplier coming this week, and I'll try to bring you guys along for that too. I've not bought from this person before, but we're going to buy already pre-bucked firewood poles at 16 to 18 foot length, and we're going to have it all set for the processors. So I've got a load of 5 cords of 20-inch furnace wood that the guy wants green furnace wood. So we're going to run that through the Cord King this week. We'll bring you guys along for that. That will be a video. Gramp is going to be over, and he's going to start working on some of the seasoned firewood that we have to cut and get rid of. So we'll be working on some of that too. It's going to be a busy week. American Country says, see, Tucker got his machine. I saw Tucker and his dad running that new machine. That's going to be awesome for Tucker, that's for sure. So that's pretty good. Logger Jason, how far are you from the Brownville food pantry for the deer? I am 40 minutes away. Not far at all. Not far at all. Jason, that processor would be too small for you for sure. But for him, I think it's going to be good. Len's Firewood Creations. How you doing, brother? I got something to show you guys from Len. I've been working on it. It's almost done. BZ wants to know, does that mean that Graham is doing better? Graham is actually not doing better, unfortunately. Graham has to have surgery again, more than likely. And he's going to have to take care of her all over again. She had a screw that came out in the plates and screws that they put in her ankle, so she's not doing good right now. BT Saws, how you doing, buddy? Here, you got to use that Gramp stick. That was pretty awesome. Glad you liked it. Yep, Jason's looking into polewood. I'm telling you, that polewood is going to be something special. When you get it, you'll wonder why you messed with the tree service wood all these years. I'm telling you. I appreciate that, BZ Firewood. Yeah, so Gramp has officially started harping at me because he's ready for more wood. Our temperature has cooled off up here. When temperature cools off, Gramp gets going. It's just one of those deals where he can't keep up with him. He's 79 years old, and he doesn't slow down. He's 24 cords ahead of me right now, and it's just, I don't even know. And there's Brennan. How you doing, Brennan? Good to see you, buddy. We're in the 20s for temperatures up here. Right now it's 30 degrees with a split between rain and snow. So for any of you guys that saw it and are nervous and worried and wondering what's going on, the all-wood muscle wood is for sale. I am getting another all-wood splitter to replace it, something bigger, better, and maybe even faster if that's possible. So if anybody's looking for a splitter, my splitter is for sale. You can buy it with or without the table, and delivery from Maine is possible anywhere across the country at $2.25 a mile. So don't worry, the all-wood is not going away. It's only getting replaced with a different all-wood. So don't worry. Don't worry. BZ Firewood, that's too bad. It's never fun when people are in the hospital, that's for sure. So yeah, I'll keep them in my prayers as well. Unfortunately, life happens, and that's this week. We didn't have any long form videos. I could have made videos. I just had too much going on, and there's Mr. Frontier Firewood. So for those of you that don't know, there's going to be an Echo 7310 decked and ported that's going to be traveling around some YouTube channels. You're going to see it on a bunch of different channels. We're going to get a chance to run it. We're going to give our opinions. We're going to give our reviews, and we're going to send it to the next person on the list. And it's going to be a great time. And that's all being put together by Frontier Firewood. And I'm looking forward to seeing how all of that works and how it pans out. If it pans out right, I've got some saws coming, and maybe I will continue it on my end after that Echo makes its rounds around. So I think it's a good way to bring all of the community together and to bring everybody in. So I think I'm going to continue that along so long as we have decent success with Bracken and Frontier Firewood's saw that we're sending around. So I think we're gonna have fun with it. So we'll see. But it's interesting to see how this community pulls together. I had some people find some of my older videos when I was having my heart issues and they weren't sure what was going on, and they offered to come up and cut and split wood for us for free. Didn't want payment, wasn't going to take no for an answer, and I told them that was a month or so ago. Don't don't worry about it. So we'll see. I'm not sure how long we've got to keep it. We're going to run a gallon of gas or so through and see what happens and then go from there. Ed Rose wants to know, am I coming to Hickory, North Carolina in a couple of weeks? I am not. I'm not leaving the state of Maine until after Christmas. We've got to close on the new house. We've got to get moved. And we're just going to do whatever we can and go from there. It's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to pan out, but I've got some moving and some serious stuff to do. We've still got a bunch of wood to do. It's been really, really, really busy. Robert says if I'm going to have two in my wood yard, I can drop an old one off and he'll take really good care of it until somebody buys it. Well, there you go. I should have my new one sometime. Bobby's working on something already, and it's going to be much different than what we've seen out of all wood yet, so it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. I'd love to make it, Ed, but it's not in the cards for me this time, unfortunately, and I hope that we can get any of that stuff sorted so that next year, all of these events, we should be able to make it. So we'll see. Logger Jason wants to know, anyone else get annoyed when a customer wants to change the delivery of a custom order after it's loaded? If they want to change the delivery of a custom order after it's loaded, I tell them that I'll burn it in my own wood stove and that it's not for sale anymore unless it's a good, valid reason. If it's a good, valid reason, then we'll worry about it there. Dennis Rexford, have a good night, brother. I appreciate you. So change orders don't pay good. They hold a bunch of stuff up. It makes it so hard for everybody to try and sort things out. I don't like change orders. I don't like changing orders, and unfortunately, I had to change orders on everybody for last week. Last week was just not working, and I was like, I got to change it. So I changed all the orders around, and It was the least amount of firewood I have done in a given week in the last 10 years. It felt really, really strange to do that little of an amount of firewood. The roadside racks are completely empty right now, but that's because we're going to rebuild them. The new owners of the house that are buying the house are letting us keep the racks here, so we're going to rebuild them. That's going to be some videos. And I'm going to bring you guys along for the rebuild of the racks as we go, and show you what I'm doing this time around, because they're going to be much, much different than they were before. And I'm looking forward to some new roadside racks. We're actually building 3 sets, and I'll tell you why when we get to that part of it. Tom's Firewood, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So it's just one of those deals where I just got to take a breath. Anne from Wise Choice Firewood, she messaged me and she told me, she said, you probably do more in an hour than a lot of these guys do. And in a week, and you know, that may be true, but it doesn't help for somebody like me who's always go, go, go. This was a very hard week for me. I am so looking forward to trying to get back to work and back to some sort of normalcy for this coming week. Log Whisperer, Russ, how long was your recovery when you lost your pinky? I nearly lost 2 fingers on my splitter a few weeks ago and have to go into surgery this Friday for one of the fingers. So when I cut this off, they told me nothing for a month. And I said, okay. And I went home and I was plowing driveways the next day with my finger on the window, rotating it to keep it cold on the window. It still swelled up like a balloon. We still had issues with it, but I was back sawing 2 weeks after I did it and splitting. I didn't let it heal as long as I should have. I didn't have any issues, but that doesn't mean that that's the type of thing that I would condone. But yeah, I definitely didn't wait long enough. I suffered with some pain and some swelling for a long time, but it's better now. Ken has a question. Do any woodhounds know where the origin of the term bucking came from when it isn't referred to in firewood? And I think Brandon Hode has it right. It was a buck saw that they used to buck the rounds of firewood with. So Zach says Richard said the B word. Well, Richard's playing video games with his friends, and sometimes when they get little, they think that they're big. And we'll address that when we're done, I guess. Yep. Yeah, you can always find somebody that will buy firewood, Robert. Robert said he had a 5-cord custom order that somebody backed out of, and I sold it for him. If you have a big enough group of customers that you service, chances are you can usually get rid of it. Longer lengths are getting harder and harder to get rid of. But you do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. And there's Roger Austin. Good evening, Mr. Austin. So I'm looking forward to my new firewood supply, because my new firewood supply is quite a bit cheaper. And it's supposed to be better wood. So those two things don't usually ever go together. So we're going to see how that works. I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like, but at the same point in time, I told him bring 1 load for right now. Because if it shows up and it's not decent, that'll be the only load that comes into the yard. And my other logger, he takes November off for deer season, or until he shoots his deer, and he's not shot his deer yet, so he's not cutting. I've got 1 more load up in his yard that we can bring down, and that's it. And then he's out until the end of the month. Yep, Jason, that's exactly right. Custom orders should pay up front. Northwest PA Firewood, how we doing? Yep, cheaper is not always better. BZ and Rust, he's got it exactly right, and that's why I'm very cautious about this new supplier. Sounds good, sounds great, and I know why they're doing it. 2 of our big mills, one of them is shut down right now. There's nowhere for them to get rid of hardwood pulp. So the only place they can get rid of hardwood pulp is to a firewood guy like me, or they sit on it. And if they sit on it, the longer they sit on it, the less it's worth, because as it dries out, it loses weight. So I don't know. We'll see. Had lots of interest in splitters and processors towards the end of the year this year, for people that have started to grow their firewood businesses and they're looking to upgrade and do all of that. So it's been very busy getting quotes out this week too. So I kind of replaced some of my firewood time with that. We've sold some machines. I still have some Typhoon firewood processors in stock with no weight. Cord King, there is a weight for machines right now. Allwood has a small weight for splitters right now. But now's the time to try and get your machine before the end of the year so that you can, excuse me, so that you can get them on this year's taxes if you're running a legitimate business. So Roger Austin just brought up a very good point. He said, hopefully they keep cutting pulp and don't just leave it standing in the woods, or just leave it in the woods, period. Lots of times when the market gets bad, they'll switch to something else. And when they switch, we can't get firewood. So it's hard. It's really hard to judge the market and see what's going on. And, you know, I'm not sure how we can circumvent that without cutting ourselves. And I've toyed with that idea a little bit too. So we'll see. We'll see. Ooh, Brian from Shotlift Family Firewood put the custom wedge on his splitter. Said he should have a video out Tuesday. That custom wedge was pretty nice, that's for sure. I liked that. That was definitely the way to go. Chad, if you've got a box wedge in the queue with Bobby, you will be happy. The box wedge and the all-wood splitters are a really nice, really well-built, rugged machine. I'll put them up against anybody's. It's definitely a nice setup, that's for sure. Yep, Robert Daigle. It is a tractor trailer. It's a center mount, and we're gonna see how it is. My father-in-law said I need to go look at the new wood yard. We may have some flooding, so I gotta go check that out in the morning, see what that is. And it got wet quick, and the problem with fall, even though we're in a drought here in Maine, is there's no sun to warm everything up and to get rid of the moisture on the surface, so the water stays, and when the water stays, there's nowhere for it to go. So it's definitely I don't know, it's definitely a hard thing. So I gotta go see how much flooding we have, or if it's concernable, and then we'll go from there. So I'm not sure how exactly it's going to work out just yet, but we're gonna take a look tomorrow morning and see. I've got to put a new belt on the conveyor, so I'll pick my belt up in the morning and we'll swing over and see what's going on, because it's always interesting in the wood yard. No, Alton is not the driest part in town. And when you drop down off the main road, which is Route 16 where I am, to head to my place, you probably drop in elevation by 300 feet or so. So that definitely does not help at all. So it's, yeah, interesting. Ooh, Speedy said his version of an MS-324 worked great busting down the big red oak. That tree service wood, unless you've got something like that, it's hard to move those big rounds of firewood, and it's hard on the machine, it's hard on the body. I've never ever been a fan of tree service wood. If that's all I could get, then sure. And you know, I'd do what I have to do, and I'd try to do whatever I can, but that big stuff is just so hard to deal with. I'm impressed for all of you guys that do that stuff on a regular basis, because holy smokes, it's crazy. And I see some guys talking about slab wood. That was how I got started selling firewood, was with slabs. I bought 2 triaxle loads of slabs. They came and unloaded them. I took a load from my house and half of a second load from my house, and then the rest of it I cut and sold, and that was what started it. And once we got going, we were good. So that half a load turned into everything that we're doing today, into this YouTube channel and everything else. That half a load is all it took to get me going and get started. So we're gonna see how it goes, and we're gonna have plenty of interesting things moving forward. Like I said, we're gonna be building the 3 sets of roadside racks. We've got a bunch of other projects coming up. We've got to move. It's a show. It's a show. I do have a new type of chain that was sent to me that I'm trying. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not. We'll see. I'm going to take you guys off and spin you around. This is called beetle chain. And I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, but we're going to, oh, there we go. We're going to find out, and we're going to give it a go. So let's see here. That's the chain. It looks good. It's definitely sharp out of the box, and I don't know if it'll focus on it or not, but it says beetle cut right there. Beetle cut chain. So we're gonna give it a try. I got it on the 562. We took the 562 and the 462 in. New chains on both of them, get them ready for the week and see what's going on. Yeah, screen's dirty. Hang on. It's cleaner on this side. So, beetle cut chain. We're going to try it. I don't know. I had it sent to me. They said, try it, give us your honest feedback, and let us know. So, I don't know what that means. It was cheaper than Oregon by a good amount. 20 bucks a loop. So, we'll see. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Yep. It happens. I've got a big order of shirts to pick up this week and hoodies, so we'll have shirts and hoodies. I've got a bunch of Gramp sticks going out. We're going to run the little 4910 and try that tomorrow. I'm going to put a few tanks of gas through that, see how that runs. And we'll clean it up after we get done with it, and we'll ship it back to Derek. Got a super chat from BT Saws. Well, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. That's very much appreciated. We don't ask or expect those, but when they come in, we appreciate it just the same. Mike wants to know, have I run Duke's chains? I have. They sharpen hard the first sharpening, and then after that, they don't seem to hold an edge quite like an Oregon chain. I think every chain's a little bit different, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's just, holy smokes. And there's not enough firewood with a $20 super chat. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. I like the Duke's chains on a smaller saw than a bigger saw. And yeah, that's what Lake Ontario just said too. He likes them on a little saw. On a bigger saw, they don't seem to hold an edge as well. And I'm not sure why that is. I haven't figured that out yet myself, but I'm sure it's metal composition. I don't know what these beetle cut chains are going to be. I do know one thing. My local steel dealer is very, very proud of the steel chains. I went and got one chain. Just one chain. Any guesses on what they charged me for this chain right here? It's crazy to think what some of these places charge. Yeah, somebody was pretty close right there. Somebody said 45 bones. It was $46.25 plus tax for one 20-inch loop of chain. That's just crazy. I can't wrap my head around that. It's nuts. Northwest PA, Firewood with a super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much. Aaron Burford says, hey, Russ, great to see you and hear you. Missing the content and the positive reminders. We're going to be back this week. It'll be a little bit different, but we're going to be back. The house is sold. We've got to do some moving. We've got to do a lot of packing, and we've got to do a lot of things to get ready to move. And I've got about 18 to 19 cords of firewood that have to go this week to get caught back up. So we're going to see just what's going on. So Ed, I will run Oregon chains from now on my steel saws. I will not run this anymore. I'll put Oregon on them. I was not impressed. I got it, and I wasn't going to be that guy that said, "Oh, that's too much. Put it back on the shelf." I said, "Nope." I said, "We'll take this one." And when I got in there, I said, "Nope, not doing that. Not doing it again." So 3-in-1 Lawn Care runs a 311 steel, 3111 steel on most of his jobs, and has an MS 162. So it's good to have a range of saws. You don't want to have a great big giant saw that you have to lug around all the time if you're not going to be using a saw that needs that much wood. Yeah, Oregon's coming from Saw Supplier. We're going to buy it by the roll, and I'm going to start making chains. I'm going to make chains and sell them locally here, and we're going to be seeing what's up. It's just, I can't spend 45 bucks for a chain. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy to me. I cannot do it. So it's oh, we'll have to see. The York Woods checking in to say hi. Can't hang around. Well, hello. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. I've not used the steel Hexa chains. This is a steel, I don't know what it is. 33 RS, whatever that is. It was what was on my saw, so that was what I grabbed. I don't know if it's any better or any worse or whatever it is, but I don't know. Three in one, appreciate it. You know, we come on here because we want to help. If somebody's got a question, if you've got a chainsaw question, a firewood question, a log splitter question, firewood processor question, whatever it is, put it in the chat, put some cues in front of it so that we know it's a question. And, you know, we'll try to answer all of those questions as we go. Speedy, yes, I will absolutely do a video on how to make a chain. It's easy to make a chain. Doesn't take very long, and it saves you a bunch of money if you buy it by the roll. But if you're just a hobbyist or a weekend guy that's doing a little bit at a time, buying a roll of chain is just that's not the way to do it. So 3-in-1 asked about chain tension. So let me show you what I do for chain tension. I'm going to move this just a little bit so it's, and basically all I do, and the way that Gramps showed me, I don't know if I have one in my pocket or not. I do. Take a nickel. You want to be able to put a nickel under the chain, under the tooth. If you can pick it up and put a nickel under it, that's good. If it's more than that, it's too tight. So a nickel under the driver of the chain halfway through the bar. That's what I was always taught, and if it's that, then you should be fine. So that's what I do for my chain tension. You'll see they'll loosen as you use them, especially on a job and it's a new chain, but pay attention to your chain tension. It'll definitely make a big difference for sure. Yeah, it's not a hard concept at all, 3-in-1, but that's how I was taught. Yeah, 3/4 chain takes a little more work, Jason, that's for sure. Good chain spinners are expensive. They are. So Daniel Atkins says 500i ported or stock? Neither. 462. That's my answer on that one. I like the 462 standard carbureted saw. 462 standard carbureted saw is the way to go, as far as I'm concerned. It'll run right with the 500i, so. So Lake Ontario Firewood says, why do some people lift up on their bars when they tighten the bar nuts? If you hold up on the end of the bar, you'll make sure that your chain is tensioned. So when you pick up on the end of your bar, you're putting it in alignment where it's going to sit. and then you can tighten up the slack out of the bottom of the loop. And when you tighten it, don't over tighten your bar nuts. Don't over tighten your bar nuts. And Iffy Kid said, if the nickel trick is based on upward tension, one applies. Yeah, it should be tight, but it shouldn't be so tight that you can't get this under it. And that doesn't mean grab on it and pull as hard as you possibly can. Just put some tension on it, and if you can get the nickel under it and get the nickel back out, you're good. Ron Brooks says, hey, Russ and Woodhound, still coping with the passing of my wife. Holidays are coming and very lonely. I can keep myself busy with my logs in about 2 weeks. Setback last week, Ron. Well, Ron, we'll definitely be thinking of you, brother. The holidays are really, really hard. When you have something like that happen, the holidays are really hard. And we'll definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers still. That's not something that we ever want to have to deal with or go through, but definitely we'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers. So best of wishes to you. Yep, Ken understands for sure. Ken's right there with you too. So it's not easy, that's for sure. So I like, yeah. If you run the Huskies for a little while, the 500i does feel lighter. The 500 is definitely lighter, that's for sure. The 562 is heavier than the 462, and it's 10 cc's smaller. So take that. Yeah. David Parker said he lost his mom on Christmas Eve, so he gets it. I think everybody's lost somebody at some point in time, and it's never good, and there's never a good time for it, whether it's better for that person or not. I think selfishly we'd all like to have them here, but unfortunately, knowing what we know, there's only one trip off of this rock right here, and it's not a good one, but we have the promise of what comes after, and that can bring a whole lot of comfort to somebody knowing that it's not goodbye forever, it's until we see again. So it's definitely a good thing. Have a good night, Brian. Appreciate you. Yeah, the heated handles make the saw a touch heavier. Not much, but definitely definitely a nice feature on a cold day. I gotta say, those heated handles are really nice. Really nice. Somebody asked me how I like the 462. From what little bit that I have run it, the 462, I dare say, is my favorite saw. Out of the box, that's got to be one of the best running, strongest cutting saws I have ever had in my hands. Not a paid advertisement by any means. I paid for it with my own money, every last penny, and it was expensive. But I'll tell you right now, that 462 is a runner of a saw. Very, very nice. William Klein, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Ah, Mike picked up a Granberg file setup. So that was how I first learned to hand sharpen. I first learned to hand sharpen with a Granberg jig that mounts to the bar of your saw. So I like that setup. Anybody that's not familiar with hand sharpening, that's a good way to learn and start to build your muscle memory. So Ken asked, is it even better than the 620? Yes and no. As far as value for a firewood pile goes, the 620 is still hands down the best saw for the firewood pile. But if you're looking for something that has power out of the box that will run with the big boys and get it done, that 462 is impressive. Really, really nice saw. It's lightweight, it handles good, it runs good, it's got tons of chain speed. I think somebody told me it's the highest chain speed on a stock saw that you can get, and I would believe it because it cuts like an animal. The 462 is really good on fuel too. We're going to run it with the 7310 and with the 372 to see how it does. And I may go grab Dave's decked imported 372 because I think that this 462 will run pretty darn close to that decked imported 372. So I'm definitely liking that saw, and there's only a little bit more time that you can get a non-electric carbureted 462. After that, they're going to switch to the electronic carb. So this is a standard carb, and I wanted the standard carb for what I'm going to do with it after. So it's just a short period more time before they're going to be getting rid of those. So if you want one, sawsuppliers.com, Willey 10, Husky, Echo, or Steel, it doesn't matter. You'll get 10% off, and you'll save you'll save 10% and free shipping. So definitely a good deal. And there's the Willey 10 coupon right there. Josh and Janice just put it up. Thank you guys. Yep, Brandon Fisher said, run with the big boys is the benchmark for the big boys. It is, and I don't need the big boy saws. We're good with just the benchmark. Works good for the firewood pile. Mainly off grid. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And no, the 462, I've been really happy with the 462. It's been a really nice saw to run out of the box. It's bigger size-wise quite a bit by the 462, but it's lighter. It's definitely it's really interesting to see a saw this much bigger be lighter than the 462. The 462, I've never had a steel saw of my own. And for my birthday, I told myself I want one. So I looked around, I did a lot of searching on YouTube, and I did my own research, and I decided 462 was what I wanted. I got it, and I got to tell you, I am anything less than 100% happy. The saw, it runs great, it starts good, it cuts like an animal out of the box. It's a really nice saw. This is the hot rod of the 70cc class. It's hard to put the 500i in there because the 500i is 79 cc's. It's almost 80. And I find that that's kind of one of the harder things with the steels is they'll go a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than some of the other classes, so they don't fit right in. And it's it's crazy. So this 562 Mark II is 1 pound heavier than the 462. I put them on the scales. It's exactly a pound heavier than that one. So if I'm going to carry a pound heavier, I want power. I don't want 10 less cc's. I'll be running that baby right there. It's definitely interesting. BT saws, if you buy any of your chainsaws, sawsupplier.com, use the Willey 10. You'll get the 10% off and the free shipping. Really great company to deal with. There's been a few people online here and there that have had issues or say they've had issues, and I've not had any issues. And any issues that I've seen with some of these other people online, Saw Suppliers has tried to make it right by them, and a lot of times the people don't respond or want to continue to make it an issue. So, Bearded Bodger, how you doing? Good to see you. Other than the electronics, were there other reasons for the 462 over others? Horsepower. So this is just shy of 6 horsepower. It's 5.9 horsepower stock. That is the highest horsepower 70cc saw available with 0 electronics. So it's a saw that I can still work on. But this saw right here is going to head down south to a saw builder in a little bit. And when I'm going to get done with it, that's going to be closer to 9 horsepower. And I'm going to be really interested to see how that goes. But I talked to a saw builder today, and we're going to try to make a quieter decked imported saw. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I won't be putting an expansion chamber on it, Handy Andy. We're trying to keep the decked imported saws quieter. That's going to be my next push, is to try to get the performance without the noise. And I know some people like the noise. As much as we run saws every day, I don't know if I could listen to one all day, every day. So we're going to try to make them quieter. So Craig's Cord to Coles says, dang, I didn't know I wanted an MS 462, but apparently I do. A 400 is no comparison to that saw. A 400 is in between this and the 562. It's a little faster than the 562, but it has nowhere near the pull that 462 does. That 462 is a very, very nice saw. Davey's not in here tonight, but Davey from Davey's Logging, he's run the 462. It's his favorite saw. He does not like the 562. It's really, really interesting to see, you know, all the different guys and what they use. I found a guy on TikTok. He uses an Echo 620 for his felling saw in the woods every day and absolutely loves it. He sings nothing but praises about it. It's all in what you get used to, and it's all in what you want to do. So it's all perspective. That's the whole thing. It's not that you're trying to be perfect. It's not that you're trying to do anything different or anything like that, but it's you know, it's just interesting to see how it all works. These 462s without the electronic carb, like I said, they're not around much longer. So if you guys want one, you better grab one. And the steel prices I'm seeing are going up in some of the smaller shops. I don't know what Saw Supplier is doing, but grab them while you can. The electronic carb is probably just fine. I wanted the manual carb on purpose, so it's I'm very glad that I got it, and I'm tempted to buy another one, maybe two. I have plans. I'm gonna need them, but we'll get into that later on down the road. Yep, lean them out in a good fuel, good air filter is a help. But we're gonna deck and port this. Dual port mufflers instead of single port mufflers when we port them. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, Iffy Kid said Saw Supplier jumped 5 to 10%. My local steel dealer, so I paid like 13 something for this with a bar and chain. My local steel dealer, just for the power head, is $1,510 for that 462 right now. So a couple $100 more, just about, and that's just crazy, absolutely crazy. Northwest PA wants to know the difference between a 461 and a 462. Iffy Kid, do you know the difference between a 461 and a 462? I'm not a steel guy. This is the first one I've had right here, so I don't know the difference. Yep, you can buy two of the 620s, but I guarantee the 620s don't cut like this does. I'll show you guys in a video this week. It's a big difference, a big noticeable difference how much faster that saw is. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get pictures during the machining. The guy that's going to be doing the decking and porting work on this thing, he's pretty secretive about how he makes and builds his saws. And we're gonna see what's going on when it comes back. But I know it'll definitely be different. That's for sure. So Jim just jumped back from Husqvarna's, but Daniel Atkins, I think, said, oh, no, Frontier Firewood said it's just a newer version. So 461 to 462 are the same saw, basically. Just maybe some more refined plastic and some changed things there. But this right here weighs the same as the Echo 620. And the Echo 620, I think they rate it 4.6 or 4.7 horsepower, something like that. So you're a horse and a quarter more, maybe. So it's a big jump. I'm telling you, this for a stock saw is a rocket. It really is. It's a really, really nice really nice setup. We're going to try, Robert. And so Not Enough Firewood wants to know if that quiet or decked imported muffler is going to be on his 545. We're going to try to make them quieter if possible. Quieter if possible. The Echo does start fast or cold, but this, once it's been started, is one pull. So it does start good once it's warmed up. It's not one pull to get it started, but it does start decent. I've been impressed with it so far. I really have. I've got maybe, I don't know, 2.5, 3 gallons of gas through it since I bought it, and so far so good. I'm impressed with it. I know it doesn't use much oil, and the oiler's all the way up. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The bar's not getting hot, so yeah, it's not a 10-pull Husqvarna, that's for sure. The older 3 Series Huskies, you wanted to have a good shoulder. You needed to have a good shoulder, because if you didn't, boy oh boy, it would sneak up on you. That, and the other thing with the Huskies, got these primer balls now, and I don't know how I feel about a primer ball on a Pro Saw. They run them all the way up to the 592 now, and I don't know. It makes starting easier, it does, but I'm not sold on it. I don't think it's a real great idea. I do like their flip caps better. So their flip caps on the Husky saws I like better than the steel saws, because they thread in. So it's that's nice. I like that part of it. One thing I don't like about the 562 and the new 5 Series saws is the mufflers stick out too far in the front. With the short factory dogs, you hit the top of your muffler on what you're cutting on. So I don't like that. Other than that, I mean, both the suspensions on the saws are soft. I'm going to order some West Coast felling kits for the suspensions on them. They're very soft suspension, and I know that they do that for the anti-vibe, but they feel flimsy, and I don't know how long they're going to hold up, so we'll see about doing something about that. Willey says the purge ball has been around for 15 years, and Husky hasn't been a problem. We had really bad luck with the early 562s. We had a bunch of them. And they didn't hold up good. This is the Mark II series. Says it right there. Supposed to be better. But we'll see. I've not run it long enough to know or to say for sure. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do know that I like the air filter setup on the steel better than the 562. That's just my preference. I'll probably be doing different air filters on both of them, because I don't know. I like to have a good air filter on my saws. Send me the Husky and I will give it a workout and review. Maybe this will be the one that we end up decking, importing, and shipping around if we're going to ship a saw around. I honestly wasn't overly impressed with it. I'd take a 620 over this. I haven't run it against the 620 yet, but just initial thoughts, feelings, and how it runs, I'd take a 620 first. But I plan on running this head-to-head with the 620. We'll run the steel head-to-head with the 372 and the Echo 7310, and then we'll go from there. How true is it you can pull the cord out and let it go on a steel and it actually starts? I've not heard or seen that, and I don't believe it's true. I don't believe it. If my wife hadn't just pulled in here, I'd probably fire both of these in the house for you. But I just heard her pull up, and I don't need to go to the doghouse that quick. She's been gone all weekend. Yeah, so we use high octane fuel. We don't use non-ethanol. We use so much that that we don't have to worry about it sitting or anything like that. But I don't worry so much about non-ethanol. Smaller saws with the simple start system. There you go. we don't have the Christmas tree yet, Jason, so I can't use that idea, but that would sound good, I guess. I'm waiting for someone to design the same assisted starting as some other 2-cycle machines I've seen. The problem, oh, drill. Yeah, you may see a drill start system at some point. I don't know as there's a real call for it. I suppose if you had like a real high compression hot saw or something like that, you could use a drill to start it, would make it easier. And Willey's right. You can pump the bulb as much as you want. It just goes back to the tank. It's to get the air out of the lines. It's not actually pushing fuel into the carburetor. And it helps. Definitely less pulls than a 3 series saw to get started. The steel starts faster, even without the purge bulb. I don't know. I like the slim design, but I don't like the inboard clutch. The outboard clutch, I mean. I don't like the outboard clutch on the 562. I think that's a pain in the butt. I hate an outboard clutch. Makes changing a chain a pain in the butt. But yeah. Yeah, Jason said, don't need a drill to keep up with the saws. That's right. One more thing to chase around. As it is, we're almost always looking for a scrench or something like that. But yeah, we don't need to chase a drill too, that's for sure. Maybe she didn't get here. Maybe I can start the saw in the house. I thought I heard her. I don't know. Hang on. Let's find out. Yeah, she's not here yet. Let's see how many pulls it takes. This is just for scientific purposes. So 3 for the Husky. They're in and warmed up, so they're not too bad. Let's see what the steel is. The steel will probably be more than 3. Better to ask for forgiveness after, right, boys? 2. So 2 and 3. There. Now we can say we tried it for scientific research and purposes. She might smell it. Yeah, I'd need 4 guys on that 2-man saw to keep up with Gramp. Well, it's not here yet, Ken. Yeah, I didn't think about the oil splatter. It's my office. It'd be all right. It's for the name of science. We had to do it. I ought to crack a window. That's a good idea. Hang on. Good idea. Yeah, 4 pulls to run. 3 pulls for this. Well, 4 pulls for the steel because the second pull is sputtered. There, we'll air it out a little bit. That was a good idea somebody had. See, you guys are helpful. I like that. Yeah, she doesn't chew on me too bad. She's used to it by now. I used to sharpen all my saws right on the kitchen table, so I don't know. What can I say? The Husky sounds good, but the electronic carb on it, it's a little funny when you first start it. it sputters and I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't figured it out yet. I want a gallon of gas through it maybe. It's definitely not broke in, but I don't know. What are you going to do? We'll try it. We're going to run it. I'll give it to Gramp. If anybody's going to break it in, Gramp will. We'll let Gramp have at it, see what happens. She won't chew on me. She'll just say it smells funny in here, and I'll say, oh, that's strange. And yeah, make sure that everybody subscribes to Brandon on here. Hody, Holstein, and Hardwood. And we'll follow along with his farming adventures. He's going to bring us through his farming adventures in the form of pictures. That'll be interesting. I can't wait to see what we come up with. Yeah, Roger said he's run 7 to 8 gallons of gas through his, and his still sputters cold like that. Hey, that could be a new cologne. I can't imagine why somebody wouldn't like that. Yep, Northwest PA, I used to sharpen mine right on the kitchen table. I had some old towels that I would put on the table to keep the mess to a minimum, and I'd sharpen them on the kitchen table. It's just warmer. It's right by the wood stove. Just a good place to sharpen a saw, if you ask me. I enjoy it, but yeah, so that's the 2 new saws. I've got the 2 Shindawa 600 SX saws are getting shipped out to 2 different builders, and we're gonna try for a quieter decked and ported chainsaw. That's the whole point and purpose. Josh and Janice, Josh probably, I'm assuming it's not Janice, rebuilds race car carbs on the kitchen table. Roger says if you have a bone in your breakfast ham, you can saw it out. There you go. Yeah, Brandon Hode says no videos, period. No computer, no phone. There you go. Red Armor Cologne. Red Armor. That should just be the name of the cologne. Red Armor. There you go. Yep. 3 for the Husky wins. I probably could have got the steel quicker if I didn't think it was going to fire in 2 poles, but either way. I run the race additives so they smell so good. Oh, it does. Klotz is amazing. Hey, have a good one, Ed. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Yeah, I probably would have to pay royalties if we named it Red Armor. I didn't think about that. Put it in like a chainsaw bottle. But, all right, guys. Well, we've made it. We're at our hour. And I think the wife's pulling in right now, too. So I can probably get off here before I die. And that way you don't have to witness a murder. But she has a car full of groceries. So I'm going to go help her unload. And we'll see you guys all on Wednesday. We'll have some videos this week. We're going to try to get something done this week. So we'll bring you along as we go, just like we always do. And appreciate all you guys stopping by. We will see you guys all on the next one. Have a good one. And remember, a little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can.